We're back on gaming. And let me say this right now. I am thoroughly disappointed in the shit that I've seen in the previous couple of weeks. Now, as you know, every time I get on here, I tell you what's going on, I warn you what's going on, and how we can fix things, because I just don't complain about things, I give you fucking solutions. And yet, for some fucking reason, that's not good enough. No, instead, I have to be slandered by things. We'll get on that. I've seen people as of late not knowing when to shut the fuck up. Yeah? I've seen people not knowing when to watch their fucking mouth, which will be addressed today. And I've seen a lot of people who just don't really care about this community and yet want the community to come and help them. And I think that's what we're going to start off with today. We're going to start with the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about what the media has been doing as of late with Pooch. We saw what happened, right? We know that he was attacked very unfairly, by the media, okay? To the point where sponsors started to drop him. Now, let's get something straight here, all right? Make no mistake about it. I do not support Poot. I don't support him. No, don't support him at all right? And I will not support him in this situation when it comes to the fucking media, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because first off, this man does not give a shit about our community, all right? Everyone is so shocked that the media did this to him. Now, I don't know why you're so fucking shocked. Because the media has been doing this to the community, slandering the community, lying about the community for years. I told you this was coming in 2012. All of a sudden, we are in 2017, and people are acting like this is a thing now. This is, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened. And it's funny, because for years upon years upon years this has happened, and this man has not ever cared. Not once. No. He was too busy getting his dollars up. When YouTube Red came along and he was the poster boy, people were losing in the community, were losing their fucking channels. Didn't care. Because he was making that money. When he talked about, not too long ago, he talked about drama and how to stay away from drama. And he got slandered, but he got destroyed by a lot of YouTubers about that. It's funny because, once again, late to the party. When people want to talk about fair use, late to the party. Years late to the party. But when the big YouTubers come out and say something, oh my God, the Messiah is here, now we shall support him regardless of what happens. It's bullshit. It is. And I'll be damned if I want to stick my neck out for some clown who doesn't give a shit about this community, alright? Simply because of what the media did. Let's get back to the media. Let's get a gotcha moment. No. We've been doing this for years. Have we not? Okay. So, it's nothing new. Now here's the thing, alright? When this man came out and said that, oh, could you please watch my video, can you please? Nah, fam, I'm not watching your video. I don't got shit. No, not happening. I understand that you are the victim in this situation, and you are. No one is going to sit here and deny that, okay? But you have to understand that, number one, you had your head up your ass, alright? This can't happen to me. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about Gamergate. It has nothing to do with me. Now they ain't linked you to Gamergate. Now it's, I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, you're the victim now. Now you're going to talk about it. Now you want to bring it to light as if you're some type of messiah. No, not even that. Now you guys are trying to make him almost like a fucking martyr. We're going to support him because of it was unjust what happened to him. And I agree. Again, I agree that it was unjust. But for years and years and fucking years, the community, alright, has been treated this way, unjustly. Didn't give a shit then. No. Not once. Not one thing out of his fucking mouth. All of a sudden, can you please support me? Nah, fam. You're on your own. And we've seen this time and time again, because during this time, where Poos was being, slandered by the community, and I'm sorry, not by the community, you know what, I should bring that up too, I guess, huh? Because remember, it's the same community that wants to support him, was the same community just a couple years ago that was calling him a pedophile by the way he was talking about people. And then you come up with all these fucking excuses on why to support him. Well, he did apologize for what happened. It was a heartfelt apology. He only apologized because the fucking sponsors dropped him. He's been talking like this and doing these type of videos for years. Unapologetically. Alright? For years. All of a sudden, sponsors drop him, hurting his money. Now, mind you, alright? Man's sitting on mills. Alright? So before any idiot comes in here and says, oh, you're just talking about it simply because, you want views or you want subs. No, I don't give a shit. Like I said before, I do not like 98% of YouTube because of this type of stupidity, because of this type of fucking support. I don't care. Why would I want his fans anyway? Now, if that's the way they act, now you want to come to the table. Let's say, the things I've seen over the years, oh, you talk about the man? Oh, well, you got to send you death threats. Why the fuck would I want those type of fans? That's stupid. But, understand, all right, that, yeah, he's sitting on millions. He's good. He can stop today and be good. So for everyone who wants to feel sorry for him and all of a sudden we are the world bullshitting and then hold hands, across the world for him, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Markiplier coming out all of a sudden, I need to talk about this. No, the fuck you don't. And we know y'all buddy. We know that y'all been doing this piggybacking each other for a while. But no one gives a shit. You don't need to say shit. Go dye your hair some more. No one cares. All of a sudden, everybody wants to get in these little groups and have these little discussions because it's drama. That's what they want to do. What did I tell y'all before, huh? If you want drama, take your ass outside. There is enough drama outside that you do not need to bring it onto YouTube. Which brings me to more big fucking YouTubers who don't know when to shut the fuck up. All right? Boogie. Remember, I told this man to stop this type of bullshit because of the fact that the media would try and get him. Did he not? Right? They tried to get him. And when I was told this, I was called a hater. I was called all types of nigger. I was called everything in the book. I was tone policing. Really. So what happened as of late? I tried to warn y'all years ago with this shit. But no. Y'all wanted to shoot the messenger because you couldn't see the bigger fucking picture. Because you had your head so far up your fucking ass. Nah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. It ain't gonna happen to me. If I decline these things, they still won't come after me. And then they came after you. They used you as an example. Did they not? They just say, hey, that's a loser. And the thing is, we've seen it. Now that the media's done it, we've seen all types of people starting to do it as of late. Troll or no troll, they're still using you as the fucking example. So congratulations. For years I tried to warn you people this was coming and how you should stop this because you're just giving them fucking ammo and you didn't want to listen. Y'all decided to slander me over it. So fuck you as far as I'm concerned. Then y'all wonder why. And listen, these are the people that y'all want to celebrate, that y'all want to fucking support. These are the same people who will tell you their opinion. They don't even give you even the slightest bit of respect when it comes to even putting links in the fucking info bar so that you can think for yourself. No, they don't want to do that, do they? No. They just say, hey, this is my word, take it for it. I'm here week after week, if not sick or whatever, week after week, telling you what's going on, showing you what's going on, how to combat this shit, give you the links in the info bar to show that it's the fucking truth of what's being said, and still, you can come and make up your own mind if you don't want to believe me in general, because it sparks conversation within the community, and these are the people that you decide to fucking support. These people. What's the point of me doing this again? What's the point? Watch out for this. Watch out for that. These people acting a fucking fool, making the community look bad. These people deserve to be thrown out of the community. When they try to hustle you. Like we just saw not too long ago when them idiots came up with that gambling site and try to take your fucking money. Throw them out the community. Right? Nah, fam. We just gonna sit back on that. We just gonna let that ride. They was just trying to get their hustle on by by conning people out of their money. Yeah. But if the media goes after Brutes, oh my God, that's the hot button topic we need to talk about, not the other shit that's going on, right? I'll put it like this. You were so gung-ho to back this man, but yet when the media went after, was it just a couple days before, the media went after the actual community over For Honor? You weren't there, were you? So apparently now, if you enjoy For Honor and you're streaming Deus Vult or whatever, you are now comparable to the alt-right. And now people are saying, well, these guys, it's just Polygon. You shouldn't take that so seriously. It's Polygon. Number one, Polygon was like one of the biggest enemies when it came to this community. How many years ago? Granted, you're going to sit here and write them off and say, oh, it's just Polygon. It's still the media and how bad they can be and how they're lying and how they can turn a narrative and how slanderous they can be. Why does it matter who it's being said to all of a sudden? We tried to stop this shit years ago and try to take on the Cool Kids Club with the Game Journals Pros and all that. Now all of a sudden, you make it seem like You've become the enemy. Because they say this about the community. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Who? They went after him. Oh, we got to go and rush and help him. Now we're being selective. And his fan base has said, well, we're going to stop going to Polygon now. So, for years they slandered gamers. You didn't give a shit then. They slander him. Now you want to boycott him. Do you not understand what the fuck is wrong with this situation whatsoever? No one is paying attention. I understand that you have a hard gripe against the media, but there are other ways to skin a fucking cat. There just are. And you gotta be careful. Like I said, I'm not sticking my neck out for any of these dudes. Not. I'm not trying to hear this Vasher Stampede love and peace bullshit where I'm trying to please every side. No. Because you can't please everyone. Anybody in reality knows you can't do that. People will not like you in general just for the way you look. Just for the way you talk. Hell, they don't even need a reason at times not to just like you. That's what it is. And you just have to accept that. There's no, I'm going to try real hard to please them. Get the fuck out of here. Life is too short for that shit. Alright? It just is so disappointing to see that the community is picking and choosing when to stand up and when to support people. And we can't have, that's absolutely ridiculous because that's not what our community is about. Like I said, it doesn't matter what platform that you play on. It doesn't matter what system you have or what game you have or whatever you like or what I dislike. If you're having a problem with said game, guess what? As a gamer, as a fellow gamer, I'm going to sit and say, okay, they're having problems. This needs to be addressed. Doesn't matter if I like the fucking game or not. But it seems like that's the thing these days. You have these grown-ass men who decide to play the dozens and divide and conquer, whether it's the media or within your own community, and say, hey, you shouldn't play this game or you shouldn't like these people simply because they have a different platform. They decide to play on PC, or they decide to play on Sony, or they decide to play Nintendo or Xbox, or whatever. You shouldn't like them because of that. Matter of fact, let's trash their exclusives, and then others say, well, you don't have any exclusives. And they go back and forth all fucking day. Grown-ass men. This is the priority these days. When all this shit is going on. Really. And then you think the bigger YouTubers would help you. No, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They worry about themselves. They get their groove on. They worry about themselves. Unreal. But we see this time and time again. And there's more. Because apparently, once again, slandering gamers, community overall, here comes the media telling you, why are you playing games when people are dying? Seriously. So let me get this straight. Your article is about the work that video game developers do distracts people from the real pressures of the real world that people are dying. Are you fucking stupid? You can't be this fucking stupid. Because, again, playing video games can help charities. They can help people. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? But the fact that this is the stance that you're taking, I put it like this. Why are you writing this article when people are dying? I'm wondering. You spent the time to talk about video games when people are dying, when you could have talked about a completely different subject altogether, because you just tried to tie it in. That's what you tried to do, all right? Why'd you do that? When you sit at home after you're done writing your article, you sit down, you watch TV. Why are you watching TV when people are dying? Oh, what, you want to go take a shower? Why are you taking a shower when people are dying? Do you understand how stupid it can get when people say things like this? He obviously hasn't understood that people play video games to escape reality. And that gamers, at this point, if you haven't been watching what's been going on social media, are tired of game developers interjecting their politics within games. If you haven't realized that. Because they're tired of reality. We've seen the media pick on just about every game. Violence in video games. Mario's too violent these days because he jumps on turtles. They will find anything to complain about. And we know this. But like I said, it's a shot not just to community, but like I said, not just to the industry, but to the community. Because as consumers, we are buying these games and we are playing them. So if we're playing them while people are dying, then he's implying that we are bad people. Do you understand that? But of course, we're going to let this one slide as well, right? Because they're not talking about popular YouTubers. The community takes a hit. I'm going to say with these type of articles, what, every other day? Every other day. The lies, the slander, no one gives a shit then. You see some people point it out and they laugh about it on Twitter. That's it. They said, but when it comes to slandering bigger guys, then it's a whole different story. Whole different story. Like I said, I want to talk about more about video games, because video games, as we know, can help people. It can help people with mental health. People who are depressed. I've seen it time and time again. People are depressed, they play video games, they feel better. We've seen many reports I've shown you throughout the years. Video games help people with PTSD. They help people with disabilities. They help. You can't sit here and tell me that game developers are bad for distracting people from society, when they're actually helping society. They actually are. Granted, not all game developers. I mean, we see some of the dumbest fucking games come out, or people who rip off other games and try to say it's theirs. But still, the fact is, games do help society. And speaking of, like I said, we already know about the charities. We already know about the programs that happen, when helping sick and needy children, stuff like that. We do it every year. However, I do want to talk about one that did happen not too long ago, which is sad news, all right? A gamer dies 22 hours into a marathon live stream. That's right. He was collecting donations for the Make-A-Wish Foundation by playing video games, and he died 22 hours into his stream. That's right. So a gamer died. Mind you, he was a father of what? 3? Father of 3. And this is where you kind of it's kind of 50-50 on this for me. Because, number one, you got to take care of your health. All right? Your family comes first. I understand that you want to help a lot of people out there in the world, and you're doing a great thing, okay? But when you're putting your health at risk, all right, knowing that you have people to support, you can't do that. You can't. And you should have known better. 22 hours in. 22 hours. Take a break. Take a break, bruh. 22 hours in. Come on now. That is where I'm 50-50 on it. You know what I mean? You should know better. As streamers, when you're doing this type of stuff, because the Extra Life program does this every year too. A 24-hour marathon stream to try and collect as much money as possible. So you have all these people come out the woodwork for that one day and try to do stuff. 24 hours. Nah, I can't. Not doing it, bruh. Not doing it. I got way too much responsibility. That's why I do it throughout the year. So that when that 24 hours, I don't have to do it then. Because I got too much responsibility. Too many people count on me. And I can't have that happen. But with him, he believed in something so much, and he just wanted to give it his all, and I guess we can say he gave it his all. But it is a sad situation. It is. So streamers, by all means, please, take breaks. Food, water breaks. Have friends come over. Rotate in your shifts so that when you're playing games, you're playing for X amount of hours, then someone else plays, and you can come back and do it. You have to plan this accordingly. You cannot just sit there for 24 hours straight and think that you can do it, especially with your health. No. It makes things worse, actually. I wouldn't be surprised now if people start complaining about these type of marathons, these live stream marathons, where they cut them down. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's move on, shall we? Lots of just bad news. Lots of bad news. Now, we know that not too long ago, Middle-earth Shadow of War has been announced. And everyone is so happy that it's coming, right? And then we saw the prices. That's right. We saw exactly what they're trying to sell us. Nope. Not happening. And I put it like this. This game is being published. You know who published this game, right? WB Games. That should tell you enough right there. You know exactly what they've been up to for the previous couple of years and how they've treated gamers. I would say, as usual, if you're not hip to this by now, wait for the Game of the Year edition. It's absolutely ridiculous that they would do this. They have like a $300 special edition? Stop. Just stop. Stop. WB Games, again, not caring about the community. Things that you need to look out for. That's right. Things you need to look out for. Let's move on, shall we? Now, we talk about the fucking FGC. I got some things I need to say today, especially after what I was told not too long ago. First off, some of you had said that SNK are watching my videos again. Because when I talked about, Dark Aggressors, they said that apparently this showed up on the PSN. So now people are saying they want me to talk about specific SNK games because SNK is watching so that they can bring them back out. I don't think it's going to be that easy, fellas, to be honest. But Y'all want me to talk about Mark of the Wolves? You want more Mark of the Wolves too? All right, SNK. Where's Mark of the Wolves? I need more Mark of the Wolves. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyways, I want to move on. Yes, because we need to have this talk. All right. Now, we know not too long ago, when it came to Marvel vs. Capcom, all right, and making Evo. And like I said, Marvel vs. Capcom made Evo. I don't really care. But to say that it was going to be a fair voting process is bullshit. And we've seen it. Now, of course, we've seen people donate X amount of dollars to, Pokken or to Marvel vs. Capcom. And we saw Yipes come out and make an absolute ass out of himself over Marvel vs. Capcom and trying to get it on the main stage. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. But the thing is, you have to understand that Marvel vs. Capcom had a lot more help than Pokken did. And for those that know what I'm talking about, that's right, SRK decided to write an article about it. So during this time of voting, all right, which was supposed to be a fair process, people getting their fans together and having them vote, obviously it goes to show you that the media interjected and made it not so fair. Because I'm wondering, where's Pokken's article? Huh? Where is it? Why do we need Pokken for Evo 2017? Was it written? No, it wasn't written. Wasn't written. So, as you can see, Marvel had a lot more backing than you think. It wasn't just the fans. The media got involved. So, as you know, when it comes to the media, you're supposed to, as usual, if you're going to be journalists, all right? We've talked about this before. You only do the who, what, when, where, and why. You don't put your own personal spin into an article, okay? You don't do that. Especially if you want to be taken as a real journalist. You don't do that. In this situation, clearly you can just tell by the header that's what they did. Okay? Now, of course, this helps promote Marvel. That's what it did. It helped promote Marvel. When you have these type of things happening, it's an uphill battle, I should say, uphill mountain that you're really going up against for Pokken. Now, granted, Pokken did great. All right, it did. And Evo was like, we'll give you, what was it, $10,000 to your tournament. But the fact that it had so much backing, Marvel had so much backing, we already knew that the companies were, we've talked about this before, about the statistics of things and how they're going to be tracking to see how good, Marvel will, how well Marvel will do, how it's well received, because Infinite's coming, and they're going to make sure that they support that and see how many numbers are really going to go after it. That's the entire point for the companies. We've talked about this before, okay? But the fact is that you have the media involved. When you have the media involved and they're giving you that push, there's bias. You understand it, right? There's bias. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, wasn't a very fair fight for Marvel. I mean, hey, Marvel made on stage. Then he had Yipes on there crying on stream. Look, no grown-ass man should be crying because a video game made it to the main stage, all right? I'm not trying to hear passion. No. That's just fucking idiocy, okay? That's what it is. That's childishness. And we're going to talk about that in a bit as well when it comes to childishness, because it seems like a lot of people like to support that shit. But before we get started on the childishness, okay, let's talk about Street Fighter real quick, because as we know, Street Fighter V, they introduced a new character, and it seems as though gamers aren't very happy with that character, especially when it comes to design, because they're comparing her to other games. I'll let you guys and girls make that decision in the comment section on whether you feel as though that's being ripped off or not. Like I said, I really want to get into this ignorance that we've seen as of late. For those who have not seen what's been going on in the FGC, okay, when it comes to supporting, all right, ignorance, for those who haven't seen it, all right, let's take a look at this Street Fighter V match real quick. Not much. I'm only going to show you a little bit of it. Where players clearly don't know how to act, all right? Punk has decided to take it upon himself to teabag players, mind you, on stream in the middle of a competition, and for some reason, this is being rewarded.
Oh, this man is disrespecting you.
Definitely.
Oh, and he's...
Stop it, please.
Stop. Balls is touching the grid right now.
I believe...
Oh!
Wow. I said to myself, Punk is too young to be a father. But apparently, he's a father.
See, Punk is just trying to get in his head, man. He is just leaving his shaft in his earlobe right now.
Definitely.
This is very bad. It's a bad look here.
He wants Mike and Ike to hear where he's coming from.
Are you fucking serious? All right, let's get into this. First off, we're talking about people who want to be esports, okay? They want to be professionals, all right? So when I'm listening to this commentary, and it's funny because people always tell me about my commentary. When you listen to this commentary, I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is the commentary that you do realize that you couldn't put that on a national TV, right? You understand that, right? It couldn't be said on ESPN. You understand that? Like, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to clean yourselves up. I've been telling you this for how long, right? But nah, this the FGC though. This the Thundery. This is what we like to see though, right? This is what you're gonna say. Look, when opponents decide to teabag in the middle of a match, you should be ashamed of yourself, all right? I say this due to the fact that, once again, you are trying to be professionals. You don't see professional fighters, real fighters, not playing fucking fighting games, real fighters doing this, do you? You don't see it, do you? No. They're trying to get the job done. Now, granted, given what people have said about this, people have said that, the guy was talking trash to him beforehand, and this is what he's getting for doing it. So, because he talked trash trying to sell the fight, because that's what fighters do, they talk trash to sell fights. I mean, anyone who's ever seen Conor McGregor, I mean, come on. We've seen it through boxing, through fighting, through years and years of this. Talk trash to sell a fight. You get in there and you do what you got to do. Right? You don't play any games. You do what you got to do. You get the guy out of there. And then afterwards you can say whatever you have to say afterwards. You know what I mean? But no. These idiots decide to talk trash, which is fine. All right? I don't have a problem with that. I told you before. That's how you have to sell a fight. Sell a fight. Fine. I don't have a problem with that. This is promotion. All right? But then you get in the match and you start teabagging and acting a fucking fool. Then I'm not going to take you seriously. I'm going to look at you like you a fucking fool. Because unlike a professional, you would have just finished them off. You wouldn't have played around. I don't care what if it's perfect. I don't give a shit. None of that matters to me. All right? You get them out there as fast as possible. That's how you prove that you're better. That's what you do. But no. Let's keep going. Let's see what else happens, okay? Let's see, once again, commentary. Y'all probably have a problem with my commentary. So, let's see more of the commentary.
He's ready to take it to the main stage. Thank you so much. No handshake. Oh!
That was godlike.
Jesus fucking Christ. That was godlike. So, no handshake, that's godlike. Are you fucking stupid? I mean, once again, bring in the short bus. Bring it in. Because you've got to be kidding me. Look, if he doesn't want to shake hands because he took whatever the guy said to him before personally, that's fine. He don't have to shake hands. We've seen fighters not touch gloves before a fight, right? Because they don't care. That's what it goes down to. Some fighters talk, and even after the fight, what they do? They go and they hug and they shake hands and they go to the corner and they congratulate each other, do they not? Because, being punched in the face as opposed to playing a fighting game, you know what I mean? Completely different. But they still have better sportsmanship than this shit. And what I'm saying about the sportsmanship, like I said, if he doesn't want to shake hands, that's fine. The other clown, that's the problem. The other clown, how you going to try and raise up? You're like 5 yards away from him. The fuck is that? The fuck you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do? But we're supposed to just forget that, right? You're mad because you lost, which, like I said, shouldn't have teabagged, should have just finished him off and got him the fuck out of there, and then not shook his hand. That's fine, all right? But then you going to act like you going to make somebody flinch off this shit? And you 5 yards away from him? Because he don't want to shake your fucking... Get the fucking... Yo, if you'd have raised up, I'm telling you, and this is the problem I'm having right now. You have a lot of fucking frauds who are acting more than what they really are. That's what it is. Like I said, you do this shit down the way, because you raise up on someone like down the way, you're getting fucked up. You are getting completely fucked up. Don't tell me after all these years, you played in locals, you've gone to corner stores and tournaments and played and shit like that. Don't tell me, all right? Because listen, if anyone even decides to, yeah, and his mans and all his people is there, you're going to get fucked up for acting like that. Ain't no one going to try and do all that shit. What's wrong with you? Like I said, you're acting more than what you really are. But this is what we're supposed to be supporting though, right? All the comments, ha 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 ha. But listen, the shit is embarrassing. It is. But it gets worse. It gets even more embarrassing. Listen to the fucking interview.
Now we're here with Punk right before Grand Finals, and what everybody's wondering, what was going through your head during your match with Mike and Ike?
I mean, I knew I was going to win. He likes to talk a lot of trash about me, and I got to put the kids in their place.
So what is your opinion on teabagging in fighting games?
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I had to teabag him. I gotta show him who's the alpha.
Are you fucking serious talking this type of shit with that nasally ass voice? I have to show people who is the alpha. Are you fucking serious? This is what I mean. This is the definition. I hate to say this. This is the definition of a fucking dork trying to be more than what he really is. And you can hear yikes in the background. Oh, get the fuck out here, the old bullshit. All right, seriously, you're trying to hype up bullshit. That's what you're trying to do. Every little thing. And this is who y'all respect. The same dude who was crying just not too long ago. This is who y'all fucking respect. This is stupid. Like I said, these are grown men pandering, it seems like, given the comment section, pandering to kids, to children. You can't tell me that this is okay. Now, in his case, his opinion, he feels as though teabagging is okay. Like I said, from a professional standpoint, you're not going to do that in reality. You going to tell me you're in the middle of a fight, you just going to start teabagging? That's what you're going to do? You going to start taunting when a guy can just turn around and punch you in the face? I forgot. You're not used to real fighting. You're not used to real sports. But you want to be esports. You want to be real sports. But you don't want to take yourself as serious as sports. But you want people to still respect you. Get the fuck out of here with that. Not trying to hear it. You can't have it both ways. You can't. All right? You understand that? So as far as I'm concerned, he's absolutely wrong when it comes to teabagging. It's not respect for your opponent. No. Get him the fuck out of there as fast as possible to show him you had no chance. He said in the interview, I knew I was going to win. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's confidence. You should feel that way. If you don't feel that way when you're going into competition, there's something wrong with you. You can ask any real fighter. Their confidence is through the fucking roof when they're getting ready to fight. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But I had to show the kids this is going on and show them who's the alpha. Really? That shit is embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And people want to support this. Which brings me to my next point. Because I was told, little birdie told me that people in Atlanta, apparently at a college, have a problem with me on my videos when it comes to talking about the FGC. To the point now where they're saying, event isn't part of the FGC. That's what they're saying. So I want to address this part. I want to address this. Because I find it funny that idiots are saying this. And they're saying this due to the fact that because event doesn't understand how we support each other. And this is how we do it. No. Just because I asked for some fucking responsibility from grown-ass men, now I'm not part of the FGC. Motherfucker, I was part of the FGC before you were even fucking born. You are in college now. I need to know. Like I said, I told y'all before, I don't give a fuck what people have to say about me. And I posted it not too long ago on Twitter. What did I say? Everyone enjoys your honesty until you're honest with them. Then they say you're an asshole, right? That's how it works. But here's the part I don't understand. Who the fuck are you to institute this type of authority where you're going to tell people who's part of the FGC and who's not part of the FGC? Huh? I want to know that. Who are you? You're nobody. Do you help me in real life? Do you pay my bills? Do you support me? No? Then shut the fuck up. See, this is the difference when people play themselves and how embarrassing they can get. And the fact that you're supporting bullshit. Because a specific person says, I would like to see more responsibility. I would like to see, them carry themselves better because they can get bigger that way. Because the end game for the FGC is to become such esports and to be so big that the community grows. That's the end game, stupid. In order to do that, you have to play ball with the companies. You saw what happened years ago. Oh, matter of fact, you probably didn't see years ago because you probably wasn't part of the FGC then. Like I said, you're just now getting to college, so you don't really fucking know much, all right? But the fact is that when they decide, okay, well, MLG is doing this, we can be part of MLG, and MLG had their rules, and they were like, nah, we don't want anything to do with that. And MLG, where's MLG now? They took off to the fucking stratosphere. Now, the fighting game community, they're trying to get a piece of that. All these esports you're seeing, whether it's League of Legends, or wherever, notice all those type of things, Dota and all those, they are so far ahead because they know how to play the game. I told you this before. When it comes to the way you dress, the way you speak, code of conduct, it is a thing, whether you like it or not. The only people who are going to sit here and say, nah, fam, this ain't for me, this is bullshit, are kids who don't understand what the fuck is going on, who have no handle on real life or don't know business. Okay? Those are the people who are supporting that shit. You think your commentators want to be standing around with do-rags on and shit? Tell me on Fox or NBC or any other sports station where dudes are standing there and sitting in there doing commentary work on sports in do-rags and hoodies. What? No? Okay. I don't want to hear it. So for you to say you want to be taken seriously, but you still want to act like a bunch of fucking kids, it tells you, like I said, you can't have it both ways. And you're fucking crazy if you believe that. But no, event's not part of the FGC. I'll put it like this. Since you're in Atlanta, in that college down there, MomoCon in Atlanta, I will be down there again this year. 3rd year in a row. I am not a hard man to find. If you really have this much of a problem with me, come say it to my fucking face. It's that simple. Can't believe you got motherfuckers got the nerve to open their fucking mouth, not knowing what the fuck to say out of it, not knowing when to watch their fucking mouth. You gonna try and deem someone not part of the community? Okay. Okay. So because I want shit cleaned up, and not just me, alright? Many others have voiced it as well. They want shit cleaned up because they know it can't go any further if you don't clean it up. And this is the stance you decide to take. Well, he's talking about the community I like, therefore he's not part of it anymore. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. What's wrong with you? Unreal. This is the shit, I'm telling you. It's the dumbest shit. It's short bus. Every time. Short bus. I don't know how you made it to college. Short bus. When you say some dumb shit like that. Once again, I would like to know who you are. You know what I mean? To say who's part of the community and who's not. Especially when I've been here a hell of a lot longer than you've been born. I ain't trying to hear that shit, son. You really need to check yourself. I don't know where the fuck that ego came from, but that shit is knocked down now. Give a fuck who you are at this point. Like I said, MomoCon, come fucking see me if it's a problem. Anyways, let's move on. Speaking of problems, because you're so for it, and I'll have to understand this, because like I said, when we're talking about the fighting game community, and we're talking about, you know, the ambassadors and things to look out for, because you think that these guys would look out for the community, right? Oh no, I forgot. They don't do that, do they? No, they only look out for themselves. They never talk about the bullying in the community. They never talk about the overpriced things in the community. They never tell the community to stop fighting with each other or at odds. Because as you know, the fighting game community is an entire community. Yes, you have your subgenres when it comes to Street Fighter players or King of Fighter players or Tekken players or anime, that's what they like to say now, anime game players. But they were never at each other's throats the way they are now. If you didn't like a game, you just didn't like a game. Now, it's got to be us versus you, which is bullshit. And you know it's bullshit. And while all this, you know, infighting is going on, we have shit like this going on. For those who don't know. Dead or Alive 5, last round. Now is, I would say, the highest fighting game, priced fighting game that we've seen in a long time. Probably ever. I say this due to the fact that Dead or Alive 5, last round, cost over $1,000 now. Over $1,000. Where is anyone to say, okay, they've gone too far. They've gone too far. I'm not trying to hear, well, you know, well, a lot of it's costumes, a lot of it's just cosmetic. It doesn't fucking matter. Over $1,000 now if you want the full product. That's what you have to look at from a consumer standpoint. I don't see any of the guys in the FGC saying, you know what? Yeah, this has gotten out of hand. Not just gotten out, it's been gotten out of hand. But no, because they're worried about themselves. That's all it is. Mind you, when they were asked at times by the media, why don't you talk about bullying during these, you know, these type of conventions or these type of these tournaments? What they say, ain't got nothing to do with me, fam. If it ain't happening to me, it don't matter. Yeah, way to be there for the community. Way to be there. This clearly is a fucking problem. Dead or Alive, listen, last round, the fuck you smoking? $1,000. For one game. One game. That's crazy. But nobody wants to call this out. The media hasn't said, you know what? Fuck wrong with y'all. Players haven't come and said, fuck wrong with y'all. Look how long it took for big time players to come out and say, Street Fighter V is bad. Look how long it took. Don't give me this shit. But this is what we support now. We support ignorance. We support silence. We support thuggery. People acting a fucking fool as if they don't know any better. Grown-ass men don't know any better. These are the things that we support. And when people say, hey, look, this is fucked up. You know what I mean? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Then you say, oh, no, don't question us. You're not part of the community anymore. Fuck out of my face. Let's move on. Fighting game of the week. We going back. That's right, we going way back. For those who don't remember, I remember Wu-Tang had a game like this. And when I say that, you can say, oh shit, Wu-Tang, yeah, I remember the South Shaolin. Yeah, but we're not going to talk about Wu-Tang. We're going to talk about a game that was banned for its time. That's right. Let's talk about Thrill Kill.
Begin.
You know, the fact that you look back at this and you see that it was banned from the West at the time because it was too violent, it's just absolutely crazy. That's why that Wu-Tang game came out. It was in replacement of it, which is just like, are you serious? But yeah, Thrill Kill, for those who didn't import Thrill Kill at the time, Thrill Kill had a lot of fun. Like I said, a lot of fun. Like I said, multiplayer game, pretty much stuck in an asylum. It's a smaller version, I don't even want to say of Power Stone. I don't want to say that because Power Stone was pretty damn phenomenal. But Thrill Kill had its own charm, and I feel as though Thrill Kill, this is one of those games that needs to make a comeback. It does. Of course, as you can see, it needs to be polished. There's a lot of mechanics. It's so slow and things. But like I said, back then for its time, it was a great game. I remember sitting around playing this with a lot of friends. All right, this was fun for its time, and to see that it's pretty much just gone away and not getting the credit it deserves, I feel as though it does need to make a comeback. It does. But let's move on. I was talking about esports not too long ago. I find this kind of weird. Las Vegas gets an esports arena to attract millennials. At least, that's what the header says. Now, you would think that this arena would hold a lot of people, right? It only holds 200 people. 200 people. Go figure. All right? But let's move on. All right? Friday the 13th. That's right. Friday the 13th game teases a new design for Jason. That's right. I'll put the link in the info bar for you. I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't know how I feel about this. Seriously, I would rather just stick with the old school Jason, and then you can come up with the skins, you know, from every movie that it had. Yes, even Jason X. You can have the skins from each movie and just have them licensed as far as I'm concerned. You know, I would rather it be that way. You know what I mean? Give it more authenticity. But we'll see what happens on Friday the 13th. All right? Let's move on. Now, Capcom. Capcom confirms Resident Evil 7 Free DLC brings back an important character. Now, we talked about this before, whether it's possibly Chris Redfield. Some of you said it was Hunk. I'm not going to give it away, but I will put the link in the info bar. And, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. But the free DLC, you know, does confirm that it is a specific character from the past. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Because some of you got on me last time for talking about it and saying, don't spoil it. No. Okay, so, not going to spoil it. Anyways, let's move on. Twitch to begin selling DLC in games. That's right. And partner streamers get a cut. Now, mind you, the partner streamers only get about 5%, all right, of whatever, you know, they're shilling to you, if you want to call it shilling. But, yeah, so I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. But to start selling games and, you know, of course, digitally, stuff like that. But 5%, I guess, if you're watching a specific person you like and they're playing a said game, I guess the influence can come from that and make you buy the game themselves, you know what I mean? But they get 5% of a cut. So I wouldn't be surprised now that this is out, you know, out and open, that we see partnered players start really, you know, talking up or playing up certain games. I would not be surprised. I mean, especially if it's already popular. Like, do you really need to talk up or hype up Minecraft? You don't really, do you? Or any Dota game? Not really, do you? No. So, those are, the big popular ones you don't really have that much of a problem with. But, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. Xbox, let's talk about it real quick. $250 Xbox One Bundle comes with a free controller and 3 free months of Xbox Live. I guess they're trying. They're trying to get people. I put it like this, like I said, when you saw the way they did Xbox Live back in the day, and it was still peer-to-peer, and they were still making you pay for it, it was a joke. They shouldn't have made it. They shouldn't have done that to begin with. And then Sony was like, "We'll never make you pay for it, whatever." And then, as you see, now you're paying for, PSN because they saw how many people actually jumped on the Xbox and were willing to pay for it. And now Xbox is like, "Well, we'll give you a couple free months if you come over, please." Like, that's what it looks like right now. But they're trying, so you got to give them that. All right. Also, more news. Nier Automata. That's right. You can buy trophies with in-game currency. Really? No, really. Like, this is one step away from people buying trophies with real currency. This is one step away. And though people are saying, well, this may be a joke, you have to understand, other companies are watching. And they're willing to take it to the next level. Hello, EA. They're willing to take it to the next level. So while it may come off as a joke here, it doesn't mean in the future that it's not going to happen. All right? Buying trophies with in-game currency. Why don't you just play the game and just go through it and unlock them? I don't understand that. I don't. Okay, whatever. And people are saying maybe you'll get a weird trophy for buying something, with in-game currency. Maybe they'll give you a disrespectful trophy. That would be interesting to see if they do that. But we'll see. Anyways, let's move on. In some weird news. I don't even understand this, to be honest. All new Halo FPS games will have multiplayer split screen. Why'd you get rid of it in the first place? That's what's weird to me. Now you're saying, yes, this is what we're going to do. You should be happy. And people say, oh, yes, we got this. It's like, but you had it before, and they took it away from you. You understand it, right? And now they're trying to sell you it like it's either a new feature or they're doing you a favor when you had it before. So, yeah, I don't understand how that's even remotely how that can make people happy. I mean, yeah, you're getting the feature back, but come on, let's be honest here. Like, it's kind of disrespectful they took it away to begin with. Like, I don't know. I don't see that as positive news. You know what I mean? When you had it before. If anything, it just reinforces, hey, wait a minute. You took this shit from us before. It's going to make me not like you even more. You know what I mean? Because you shouldn't have got rid of it to begin with. But, let's move on. We need to talk about Gears of War 4. We've been talking about Gears of War 4 previous couple weeks, and, it seems like every week I talk about Gears of War 4, it gets worse. For those who know what I'm talking about, Gears of War 4 the install has now ballooned. That's right. To over 100 gigs. So it seems as though people are going to be spending more time downloading the game than actually playing the game. Like, this is what happens when you have huge budgets, and we talked about the budget before about it, and you're trying to make these vast things, and you try to amp up graphics, you try to give gamers the whole next-gen thing. This is what you're going to get into. Huge fucking file sizes. It's going to take forever. Like, that's not even feasible, if you ask me. It's just not. But let's move on. Speaking of things that still seems weird and not feasible, Star Citizen. That's right. Star Citizen collects more than $144 million from crowdfunding and adds new ships. Now, look, I haven't really talked about Star Citizen that much, but I've been somewhat keeping up on it. And is it me, or does this crowdfunding, the money that they get, it's very cultish. That's what it feels like when I look at Star Citizen. And I see people, the way they defend Star Citizen, and they'll go to every length to defend it. And I'm just thinking to myself, $144 million for this game. Crowdfunding. Could you imagine what they could have really went to? But $144 million, that's crazy. Like, that's, like I said, it seems very cultish to me. But that's just me. In some bad news, I don't know if this is bad news or awesome news. Maybe it's a bit of both. Naughty Dog. Yeah. Now, we talked about not too long ago where the Uncharted script for the movie, remember, it was like, oh, it's going to be badass. It's got an R rating. It's going to be awesome. Well, apparently, Naughty Dog knows nothing about the Uncharted movie and doesn't support it. Apparently, that these people who wrote the script and everything, they're like, yeah, Naughty Dog's on board. They support us and everything. And the creators are just like, nah. And we wish they would stop promoting and saying that we support them. Like, the link in the info bar, it's really interesting to see that, they've been trying to hype this up and trying to get people on board to see this movie because of the script. And then you have the original creators are like, no, we know nothing about it, and they're using us to promote it, and we don't know anything about it, and we don't want them to promote it because we don't know, we don't support it. It's really interesting to see, this goes down. So as far as I'm concerned, if the creators don't support this movie may turn out to be really bad. Really bad. So, but things that have turned out to be really bad, we need to have this talk. Let's start with EA and their bullshit, shall we? Okay, Peter Moore. I feel bad for Liverpool fans. Peter Moore is going to leave EA, that lion-ass Peter Moore. As you've seen, I've shown you before, the tweets between him and I, he's been caught, lion-ass, okay. Is leaving EA to become Liverpool FC CEO. Liverpool fans, I wish the best for you. You're going to need it. You're going to need all the luck you need. Peter Moore, mind you, Peter Moore is a Man U fan. All right? And to have him come into Liverpool and okay, Liverpool fans, all right, God knows what he's going to do. They're going to DLC your tickets. Season pass your tickets somehow. Season pass your season tickets. They're going to do something. Microtransactions for every time you sit down. This is going to be something. Peter Moore is a lying snake. Where's my title, Peter Moore? It doesn't matter. He's a lying snake, and now he's going over to Liverpool. I hope those fans give him hell. I really hope they do. But I'm sure he's going to keep his EA ties. I'm sure the next FIFA will come out. They'll push Liverpool as the poster boy. I guarantee you, right? That's because, mind you, that's all they've been doing before. They did, with Man U. So, also in more EA news, we got to talk about this. Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't know what's going on with this fucking game, but clearly this game is not up to par. Now, of course, we've seen the character designs, and we've talked about this before, where gamers felt as though the one character is so ugly. Matter of fact, it got to a point where gamers took it upon themselves to fix the character as opposed to the developers. BioWare is not polishing anything that we've seen, and what we've seen as of late when it comes to action scenes, where the characters are not even hitting each other, it makes things even worse. Like, come on, just stop. Stop. If this makes the cut in this game, I have to ask, because it's almost like a PS2 game at this point. Look, BioWare, it's already bad enough that people have called you out because, people on your staff are clearly racist, okay? And talk about fuck white people and white people don't matter and all this. And to go that route is absolutely ridiculous, okay? And now you're having a game that you want people to buy. You want them to, to bypass that part. But to buy, and then you don't polish the game whatsoever. And of course, you're going to, hit them up with all the types of standards of money, and everything. No. If people are really buying this, are people really going to buy this? That would be really sad if they did. It would. I understand that people are still mad at the Mass Effect 3, and then for BioWare to do this, and we're seeing all these things come along now that not polished the character designs, and the action scenes are a mile off of each other. There's also another scene I saw where the person was supposed to be grabbing another person's hand, and he missed their hand completely and still pulled them up. Like, this is not going well. Not at all. I don't know if they're going to clean this up or not, but gamers, if I put it like this, if you're going to buy this game, just like I told you with Devil May Cry, if you're going to buy this game and you're seeing these problems with the game, you have to demand better quality. If they want your money, consumers, if they want your money, they have to earn it. And this is not the way to do it. And the fact that they went on, like I said, the fact that they went on that racist tangent in general, that should have ended them right there. But of course, gamers are just going to act like that didn't happen for some reason. I don't understand the community at times. Again, I don't understand. But speaking of racism, I guess we could talk about this. This is more EA bullshit. Still is. For those who know what I'm talking about, Madden Bowl Champion, that's right, was fined for his racist tweets. That's right. EA comes out and says that they found out that this guy during the Madden Bowl, all right, apparently he's from Upper Darby here in Philadelphia, all right, whatever. We'll talk about that in a bit. The fact that he had these racist tweets, and EA, and mind you, this guy's been doing this for years, before Madden Bowl, But he's in Madden Bowl, and he's having these racist tweets. And EA sees these tweets. Now, you would think when you see this type of stuff being done, okay, you've got to be DQ'd, right? Because they're fining, because they fined him $3,000. Yeah, out of all the stuff that, when he won, all the money he made, only $3,000. They tried to say that this does not reflect their tournament, and this is a code of conduct policy, and that they don't approve of this, and that, they tried to really come off as it's trying to be this pariah of moral justice, right? So you saw the tweets, right? And you gave him a warning. You didn't DQ him. You gave him a warning when he has years and years of doing this, but you gave him a warning, all right? You give him a warning, and he still proceeds to act this way. You know what? Let's look at the tweets real quick. Okay, so you knew about it, EA. He didn't care. You still carried on in his conduct the way he was going to, and then you just fined him $3,000. Okay, but you let him stay in Madden Bowl. He wins it all. So what has this guy learned? I'm just wondering, because if you didn't do anything, you didn't do enough to stop this. You didn't. All right? And then you want to make it seem like you did something. You fined him $3,000. That ain't shit. That's nothing. All right? So, I'm wondering, did this guy learn anything after the finding and all that? Did this guy learn anything? As you can see, he didn't learn shit. He didn't learn a fucking thing. And here's the thing, too, all right? You have to understand, when he was asked about these tweets or whatever, he said it was for the culture. That's what he said. Link will be in the info bar. It was for the culture. That's what he tried to say. You know what? I've been seeing this a lot as of late when it comes to grown-ass men who don't want to take any responsibility for their fucking actions, for acting like a bunch of fucking idiots, and blaming the culture. So this guy goes on this racist tangent or whatever and blames the culture. It was for the culture, fam. It's for the culture. Hip-Hop Gamer not too long ago, Hipster Shield Gamer not too long ago, all right, threatened a reviewer for giving Resident Evil a 7.7 and then tried to say it was for the culture. It was because of my culture. So now we have people, grown men who know better, who don't want to take any responsibility, who want to blame the culture. So blame the entire culture instead of you being a fucking idiot. Okay. Matter of fact, just not too long ago, one of you had sent me some more stuff about Hip Hop Gamer doing this again with Horizon Zero Dawn. And he's trying to blame the culture. The culture. Shut the fuck up about the culture, all right? First off, you're not part of fucking culture. When you tell people, I better not see you in the streets. The streets know that's a threat. That means somebody getting shot. That's what the fuck it means, all right? And then to say, nah, that's not how I meant it. That's not how my culture is. Yes, the fuck it is. That's what it means. And for this other clown, well, I was saying all this nigger stuff because it was for the culture. Get the fuck out of here. The hood's still gonna love me. Motherfucker, you are from Upper Darby. That's where you're from. If I took you down to Badlands in Philly, they would fuck you up. You think they give a shit that you want Madden? You think them dudes on the corner who was hustling care that you want Madden? No. Don't sit here and tell me it was for the culture and the hood gonna love me. I take you down the fucking hood, they gonna know the fuck you are. But I want Madden. They don't give a fuck. People as of late have grossly overvalued themselves. I took a bunch of pictures of some dudes holding the Madden belt. Yeah, hood gonna love me. Fuck out of here, man. Way to play yourselves. Oh, I forgot. This is okay, right? The thuggery. This is okay. Jesus fucking Christ. Responsibility. Take some. You are adults. But let's make an excuse for every time you fuck up, right? Let's make an excuse. And these are the people who are being supported. These are the people. I got an excuse for everything. Yeah, every excuse for everything. Every time I fuck up, the culture, son. Yeah, that's what it was. This is how we act. This is okay, because this is how we act. And if you don't know my culture, then you can't say anything about it. That's the defense. That's the defense. Are you fucking serious? Common sense will tell you, stop acting like a fucking idiot. You can't blame the hood. You can't blame the culture. Doesn't matter. Nah, you know what you're saying. You know what you're doing when you're doing it. Or you tell me you don't. You just unconsciously just do it. You're just out of body. You don't know, huh? Should we get the short bus for you too? The culture. It's pathetic that people would go this far to try and cover their own ass and hope that people defend them on this. And hope. The culture. Fucking serious, man. Let's move on, shall we? Told you, EA, you were just as responsible for what happened at with the Madden Bowl than that guy. Yeah, he acted like a fucking idiot, but you didn't do enough to stop him. So, yeah, why would anybody at this point even take you seriously anymore? Like I said before, I wanted EA to bring Fight Night Champion and UFC to the fighting game community. If that's how you're holding Madden Bowl, I can only imagine how worse it would be for that. No, fuck you. Nope, don't need you. Do not need you. Fuck you, EA. And the fact that you tried to play the Moral Crusader afterwards, we as EA as a company does not, we do not approve of these actions in the code of conduct, and we were going to find him. Fuck out of here. You could have did a lot. You could have did a lot more, but you weren't worried about it then, were you? No. The fact that you would give someone a warning when they clearly know better not to act like that. They've been doing it for years. We're going to give them a warning. Get the fuck out. All right, whatever. Speaking of football, okay, video games and football, fans, I guess you should be happy because we talked about this not too long ago where you're saying, you know what, I am so tired of football simulators. Madden isn't what it used to be where it used to be fun. Now they try to emulate it like real football. Was it 2K? It's not as fun as it used to be because they try to emulate the NBA and the presentation they see on TV. It's not real basketball. And we talked about that. And people just want, like the NFL Blitz and stuff like that back. They want arcadey type stuff. Well, I am glad to announce we're going old school with this because it's making a comeback. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Mutant League Football is coming back in 2017. That's right. But that's not all. No, you hockey fans, you're also getting one back. For those who don't know about, all right? The PS4 and the PS3, the PC. PS4 and the PC is getting an M-rated game. That's right. You think, what's going on here? That's right. Hockey game called Old Time Hockey. That's right. Arcadey type game. Like I said, this is going to be something that people have been waiting for a long time. So as far as I'm concerned, this is what you've been waiting for. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that you should be supporting. People who complained about it, you're getting it back. Now it's really a case of if you'll support it. And I'll put it like this. If it's big enough, if Mutant League Football, All-Time Hockey gets big enough, you know what's going to happen? Companies are going to follow suit. You may see your NFL Blitz back. You may see another NBA Jam. You never know what you're going to get until you do it. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, this is something that is great news. I think this is the best news this week, if you ask me. All right? But there's more. I guess this is good news, too. All right? We talked about this not too long ago about GameStop employees and how they blew the cover wide open on GameStop about pre-owned games and things like that. And we talked about that because I said they weren't doing anything new. However, GameStop will end the Circle of Life program for employees. That's right. That's what they're going to do. As far as I'm concerned, the things I've seen this week, and like I said, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care your opinion of me. All right? But the facts are the facts. And every time I do this, it seems like, once again, people are being selective. It depends who says this stuff, as opposed to just the truth in general, or telling you what to look out for, or showing you the idiocy in your community and how to clean it up. Seriously, like I said, the behavior has to be cleaned up if you want to be taken seriously, if you want it to get bigger. You have all these guys who always talk about, I love the community, I love the FGC, but they don't want to see it prosper. You can't prosper if you keep doing this. You can't. All right? It's really that simple. Things need to be cleaned up. The commentary, you're telling me, not shaking his hand, oh, that's godlike. That's godlike. He didn't shake his hand, that's godlike. That's bullshit. It's fake. That's what it is. It's trying to insist upon the viewer that more is going on than what really is. That's what it is. And for people to be okay with this, that's what I don't understand. How are you okay with this? When clearly, you're watching it right in your face. And then for them to say these type of things, oh, that's God, like he didn't shake his hand. No, he just didn't shake his fucking hand. Stop lying to me. Stop baiting me. Like, how do you not see that? I don't understand that. But nah, fam, it's good because it's entertainment. I've told you once and I'll say it again. People come for the fights. They do not come for personalities. They do not come for fake beef, fake drama. As we saw before, they tried to set that shit up years ago. Alright? People do not come for collusion. No. They're there to see skills on display. That's what it comes down to. And when you have people who have a great amount of skill and they can put on display, they don't need to say shit. Because you are in awe of what's going on. The back and forth of what's going on in those games. But it seems like people don't understand it these days. They need to have fakeness with their games. I mean, granted, the games are already fake as it is. But you can still respect, the mechanics that get put into it when people are playing. You know what I mean? The flow of the fight. You can respect that. But when you start making up this bullshit about not shaking hands is godlike, or having some nasally dude talk about how he's an alpha, stop. Just stop right there. Clearly that was for show, but it wasn't even just that much that was embarrassing. The fact that you can hear guys in the background, oh, shut the fuck up. There's nothing hype about that at all. If anything, like I said, it's embarrassing. And for this to have been on a stream, and this was happening, and this is how you're promoting it, this is how you're supporting it, you're okay with this. That's disgusting. Like I said, this is a free fall from what the FGC used to be. And every time one of these fucking idiots talk about, look at the numbers we did at Evo, or look at this, you have to keep asking yourself, but could they have been bigger? Could the numbers have been more? You're years behind vastly due to the fact of your behavior. And like I said, it's not just an FGC thing, but clearly you can see that shit from the example. It's a community problem as well, because it happens in other communities as well. And it's hard to watch. It is. Like I said, week after week I show you this shit. All to what? Shoot the messenger? Shoot the messenger. Don't get on the guys for acting a fool. Get on the guy for showing you that they're acting a fool. What kind of sense is that? That's stupid. But don't you talk about them. No, I like them so much. How dare you say something? Whatever. Grow the fuck up. Seriously. If you can't see that you're holding it, if you're supporting this type of shit, you're actually dragging down your community. That's what you're doing. But I love my community. No, you love drama. You don't give a shit about the community. If you gave a shit about the community, like I said, this shit would have been cleaned up a long time ago. Instead, you got a bunch of guys who are all of a sudden popular who only give a shit about themselves. Could you imagine if Marvel 3 didn't make the fucking main stage? Jesus Christ. Somebody probably would have killed themselves. Hell, if you got grown men crying over it for making a fucking main stage, imagine if it didn't make it at all. Like I said, it's ridiculous. And like I said, these are from grown men. These aren't from kids. These are from grown men who refuse to grow up. They're going to milk this shit for what it's worth until the Empire falls. And when the Empire falls, unless another game comes along, the Empire falls, they're assed out. They got everything they can get out of it, and they're just going to move on. Fuck the community, right? Fuck all the fixes that need to be done. No. Fuck all the price gouging. No. They're just not talk about that shit at all. I don't get it. I don't. Anyways, I'm done for the week. Disappointed in everybody. All across the board. But like I said, you say, oh, what the fuck you disappointed? Fuck, I don't care if you're disappointed in me. But then fuck you then. That's simple. That's how I feel. Don't like it, too bad. Don't watch. But like I said, I guess it depends on who says it. Yeah, go to Boogie. He'll tell you everything that's going on. Yeah. And not give you any links or anything. Just take his word. Alright? I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out, man.